let's go for zero accidents in schools. Okay. Let's go for zero accidents in schools. Okay.
The Deputy Resident Representative from the Jakarta office, Mr. Shania.
Identify. However, from these four, ladies and gentlemen and students, we are going to look at the two urgent ones. The urgent or most hazardous and second with the red. So maybe I'll ask my group.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. It is a pleasant morning. Our Fiji rugby team qualified from quarterfinals into semis. The weather is good. And today, again, we are here to look at how we secure our children. My apologies for being late. I was here in Western Division yesterday again, and then went back late and started working on the conference that we're organizing in Nadroga Monday and Tuesday with regard to early childhood education. And this morning we had to again relook at the program and again get another draft program, and then I have to circulate it to the presenters so that they can have some idea about how their presentations will be. Again, dealing with our children. First time ever, we're organizing a conference to deal with and discuss thematic areas regarding our children in kindergartens, early childhood education. We're looking at approximately 1,000 ECE teachers from throughout Fiji coming. This time around, while this is the first conference anyway, we have allocated some money to cover partially expenses of teachers, ECE teachers, who will travel from the maritime zone and Vanvalevu, so that they're not left out. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to come before you to launch this very important initiative, which is going to make a marked difference in quality of education that we offer in Fiji. The capacity as the Minister of Education, Heritage and Arts, I'm profoundly delighted that in the midst of all the reforms and the new implementations that we have brought about in the education system, we are now also able to give credible importance to occupational health and safety in terms of this zero accident total participation campaign. The two components to this campaign that we want to launch. One is zero accident, and the second component is total participation. What does zero accident mean? And what does total participation mean? Ladies and gentlemen, the safety and welfare of our children, teachers, and other stakeholders is critical to us if you want to have an education system which delivers the output or vision that we are after. And we want to ensure that our system looks after the single most important stakeholder in the education system. And that stakeholder is students. A bit funny that. That stakeholder is students. And we want to expand this definition of students to the time they wear the school uniform and they leave home, because of the nature of problems that we have been confronting recently. Last Wednesday, we were at the Education Forum in Lambasa, and we discussed the issue of our children facing accidents on the road. In particular, we also discussed about other issues confronting our children. While we were discussing the issue of road accidents, we had then said that we would look at, this was Wednesday last week, how we could devise a guideline that we want to discuss with LTA, bus companies, and also disseminate to parents about how children would reach school safely and back home safely. That was Wednesday last week. Thursday in Malolo, our year 1 children got struck down by a speeding vehicle and passed away on the spot. Ladies and gentlemen, we can have the best education system. We can do all kinds of reforms to plug the gaps. But if you don't have children, then what's the use of having this top-notch education system? Or if we continue to see us losing the single most important asset for future Fiji, our people. It is in this regard that we are launching this zero accident campaign with a much broader definition. A definition which empowers us, which allows us to look after children when they wear the uniform, but in collaboration with the stakeholders involved from the time they leave home till they reach school and back home. Some of you may think that it is not possible. For us in the ministry, we don't see anything impossible in terms of delivering onto the vision that we have. We will have to think outside the box. We'll have to deal with issues and provide solutions that is not found in standard textbooks. At times when I get frustrated, I tell my staff that you didn't learn this in your degree at USP or FNU or UniFiji. That doesn't mean that you confine yourself to all those units, standard units that you did. The standard units that you did on your degree and in your diploma and certificate is there to develop intellectual capacity, ability to identify quickly issues that could confront, rather than dealing with issues after students have suffered damage and some irreversible damage. Ladies and gentlemen, we should not shy away from talking to stakeholders about their responsibilities. We should not shy away from questioning stakeholders about their responsibilities. We should not shy away from telling stakeholders what they should do to protect our children. Ladies and gentlemen, these children that you see here belongs to us as well as it does to their parents. It is our responsibility that they are safe in the school compound and they safely reach home. Some weeks back, I said to one of our senior staff, we'll have to draft a policy and give it out to all heads of school when they bring our children in uniform after the normal 5 working days to undertake or do performances in religious celebrations. For example, I saw our children performing during the Sanatan convention at Tuvu College in uniform. Who allowed them? What's the guideline? That they were safely in school, they're safe in school, and they'll go back safe after school on a Saturday. That they will not be loitering in town and be abused by some corrupt elements in the society. who is taking the responsibility? The head teacher? The principal? What did we agreed with the parent? Now it's easy to listen to some organizations who wants to do a performance or event on a Saturday or Sunday. It's easy to get them to get our children to perform national anthem or some dance item, etc. But if something goes wrong, we all will be held accountable. And I want to think deeply and think through what could possibly happen and plug those gaps. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and pleasure to work with stakeholders who have commitment to our children. And today, I must acknowledge the support of JICA. This is not the first project that they have worked with. In the past, they have assisted the Ministry of Education in numerous projects. The government of Japan is a friend of ours. And today, we see another project jointly launched by JICA, which will define our ability and support our ability to protect our children inside and outside the school compound. Ladies and gentlemen, the Zero Accident Total Participation campaign is initiated in partnership with a number of stakeholders outside the school system. The management plays a very important role in ensuring that our facilities do not contribute to any accident. The kinds of ablution block, the infrastructure around the ablution block, the steps, any particular materials lying around on campus, the availability of fans, all these contribute towards a safe environment in the school system. But we also want our management to assist the head teacher or principal in talking to the parents. Our management is quite spread out in the community. They must also convince the parents that times have changed and our students are facing those kind of issues that they didn't face some 2-3 decades ago during their time. These issues challenge our students and question our ability to protect them from home to school and back to home. Ladies and gentlemen, this campaign intends to not allow any accident in the workplace and schools, to understand hazards and resolve problems in the workplace and schools through the participation of every worker, and to ensure that safety and health of people in the school and workplace is fulfilled in advance. We also have an important stakeholder, the Ministry of Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations, who are also partnering with us in the overall dissemination of information with regard to Zero Accident Total Participation campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think deeply about our commitment to children in this total circumstance. Home, to school, within the school, and back to home. We want this to be a mass movement. We want all stakeholders, including media, to assist us in disseminating this information, that it is the responsibility of every citizen to protect our children when they see them in uniform, so that they reach the school safely. Bus drivers, advisory counselors, shopkeepers, taxi drivers, whoever sees our children in uniform, it is their duty to stop by and ensure that the children is safe and walking safely to school. It's no harm stopping by and asking the child if he or she is okay, or if he or she needs any assistance. I do not want to count those cases that our children face and some have faced over the last 2 years, and where a number of them lost their life. The case of the recreative student who was hacked as soon as she got off the bus. The case of an infant in primary school who was raped brutally in Nakasi last year. And the numerous cases of accidents and sexual abuse. Cases of drug peddling to our children. Those who are planting drugs, they have to dispose the drug. They can't keep that stock. They have to sell it. Who will buy? None of these people will buy. None of the management will buy. The mature people, they know. Their minds are more developed. They're able to reason out. Who will buy? They will target our vulnerable, our children, because they know that our children are emotional, their minds are not that developed at this stage, and therefore they could easily be convinced and sold. They see them as the best market for their product. We need to break this group of people who are trying to corrupt our young minds, who are trying to take advantage of our vulnerable, our innocent children, if we want to protect our children for future Fiji. Ladies and gentlemen, increasingly, these corrupt elements are looking around, wanting to get access to our children. That is why this zero accident campaign has to go beyond the gates of the school. There are people outside the gate having different kinds of stall in disguise would want to peddle drug. You'd be surprised. And therefore, we need to be visible, vigilant at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, I foresee a Fijian education system where our children are flooded with endless opportunities, but at the same time, they will be subjected to numerous challenges. Because while we are forging ahead with harnessing from these opportunities, there are threats to our education system, such as the social media. Even though we can benefit a lot from the social media, but it could become a major threat to the growth and development of our vulnerable children. We need to be vigilant. We need to protect them. We need to mentor them. So it is with this regard, it is my pleasure to launch formally the Zero Accident Total Participation campaign. And I do hope that all of you in your different capacity will assist us in informing people that we need to protect our children and we need to do our functions and responsibilities, take our responsibilities seriously and provide a safe environment inside and outside the school system.
Let's go for zero accidents in schools, okay?